Everybody, it's that time of year when these wonderful seed catalogs start arriving, and I'm sure you get many of them. That one is Terra Edibles, and this one is Richters, and this one is Seed Savers Exchange. This one is from Quebec, W.H. Perrin. And my favorite, of course, is Vessies. If you've watched my videos much in the past, you know that I do a lot of my buying at Vessies. My Vessies order just arrived. I do buy seeds from several other companies in smaller amounts. Vessies, for those of you who don't know, is in Prince Edward Island, one of our maritime provinces here. And most things that they grow are grown for this climate, and they've been tested in their gardens in PEI, which generally speaking I think is probably a little harsher winter weather than I have here. So I'm usually quite satisfied with any of the seeds that I get from there. They do sell a few things that, well, they always admit in their catalog that aren't for this zone. They're for those that want to be a little adventurous, I guess. And this year I haven't got them yet, but I'm going to order a variety of sweet potato that they are selling slips from in the spring. Sweet potatoes just are not for this climate. This one is supposedly is for a shorter season and a further northern climate like I live in, but they're recommending to grow it under black plastic, which I may do, but I'm also going to plant mine in the hoopos just to see what happens. One of those things I've got to throw some money at anyway to give it a try. Anyway, below this video you will see a plant list again like I did last year of the seeds that I'm planning to grow this year. And once again, it's a long list, but you have to realize, I guess, that I live in an area where there aren't any really good greenhouses, garden centers. They're 60 miles, 100 kilometers from here is the closest, and they tend to carry the same thing every year. They don't have much variety, and I like things that are a little bit different. So a lot of different kinds of seeds, but some of them will probably only be growing 2 or 3 plants, so the seed packet that I bought this year will last me for quite a few years. And the list will have numbers beside it, the same as I did last year, so that when I get around to using these very colorful plant labels, my new Sharpie that Santa Claus brought me, I will only be putting a number on them and refer back to the list. It saves a lot of handwriting. My handwriting, I can't read it myself half the time once I've done it. And as this video goes on, I'm also going to take you up and show you what's happening in the light garden, the pepper plants that I've transplanted, plus the hydroponics and the Arrow 3 garden. And then I think maybe a little cooking demonstration. I'm thinking of using some of my herbs in another little brief cooking demonstration at the end. I bought this also from Vessies. It's called Seaboost, and it's made in Nova Scotia. Here in the Maritimes. I was looking for an organic fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, that wouldn't be too smelly, because I want to use it in the grow room on the peppers and other things that I will be starting in there. And this one is made from seaweed. It's a liquid seaweed fertilizer, and the directions are to put 1 tablespoon, I don't know if you can hear that wind or not, it's very cold and windy here today, my window just roared beside me there, but you put 1 tablespoon in a liter of water, and I will show you what that 1 tablespoon does to a liter of water. It's incredibly concentrated stuff, but it says you can use it every time you water. It's not that strong, so hopefully that will give my peppers and other seedlings a little bit of a boost. So let's go up and have a look at what's happening in the grow. Well, the pepper plants seem to be doing fairly well. And I guess they've been transplanted a little over a week now. Some bigger than others, but some were bigger than others when I transplanted them. And they've had 1 application of the Seaboost, is that what it was called? The seaweed fertilizer, just 24 hours ago, so we don't expect to see any great difference yet. Give you an idea of what that stuff looks like and how well that's showing up in here. 1 tablespoon of it in a liter of water, and it turned the water almost so you can't see through light through it at all. That's about half a liter now. I've used half of it. Let's have a little look at the cucumbers and lettuce here. The grow lights are so harsh that things never show up very well in here, but this one particular lettuce plant in back here, which I'm thinking is the French heirloom Gauchon d'Or, has started to bolt, which I was afraid that would happen, and it did. So I'm harvesting that. It gets quite a bit of usable lettuce off that. I shall have a salad tonight, I guess. The other lettuce plant, which I'm not certain, to me it looks like it's a romaine, a Kos type lettuce, and then in behind that again is another one that's got a, I don't know, sort of a crinkly edge to the leaf. I'm not certain what that is either. I planted a variety of different kinds of lettuce, but this particular one has bolted, so it's going to be salad tonight. And now I'll see if I can show you what's happening with the cucumbers here. How much I can get in focus there. I did some pruning. Somebody very kindly sent me a link to a video that showed how to do some pruning on greenhouse cucumbers. Basically, it was just cutting off the lateral side branches as they start to emerge. And I don't know. Here, these are the first ones that come out, and quite obviously they are a loss. Some of them have already dried up, and this one might as well say is dried up enough. No sense in saving it. But in here, how well you can see that, hopefully you can, that one does appear to be growing. I still haven't stopped the growth on the end of the vine. It's still getting longer, and I don't know. There's no real great advantage to it getting much longer because that's what I was trying to show you, which you probably couldn't see when I was. That one does appear to be growing, and there's a couple of more further over on the vine that are doing the same thing. So, anyway, what I was saying is there really isn't much advantage to letting the vine get any longer because it's reached the length of the light system here, and it's sort of coiling around over there. I think I will stop the lateral growth on the thing completely and see if I can't get a few small cucumbers out of it. Before we move over to take a look at the Arrow 3 garden, and the parsley that's growing in it, I'm going to plant one of the varieties of seed that just arrived. If you look at the list down below, this one is called broadleaf chives, something I'd never heard tell of before. Very small seed, but then chive and onion seeds tend to be quite small. I didn't count, but I've probably put 25 or 30 in there. I just took a pinch out of the envelope. The description says the broadleaf strain features dark green leaves similar to the size of small green onions. It is well suited for greenhouse culture and has a fast regrowth rate. Well, and it's hardy zone 3 to 9 perennial. Well, hopefully that's true. Give it a try anyway. Sounds like a larger chive. All I'm doing is just mixing those tiny seeds into the surface there a little bit. Water them in. Actually, this is some of the water in the watering can that's got that seaweed fertilizer in it. Hopefully that will still work. And I just put this pot in a small Ziploc bag. I'll hold the moisture in. I'm not going to bother to put them on heat or anything. I'll just leave it there. And next time we do an update, we'll see whether or not I was successful. That's the Arrow 3 light garden with the 2 flat leaf Italian parsley plants growing in it. I've had no success at all. I've given up on trying to get something to grow in the 3rd cell there. I don't know why. No matter what I put, some of it germinates and then it just shrivels up and dies later on. And those are the bottles of nutrient that I use in the hydroponic system sitting over there with it. I've raised the lights a couple of times on the parsley. I'm going to use those taller leaves right away soon here in our little cooking demonstration, so I'll be able to lower the light back down a little bit more. But as usual, this is my 2nd year with this little arrow garden thing, and it does very well, especially for some winter herbs. Well, let's go down to the kitchen and I'll give you my little demonstration on the cooking demonstration here. Well, I'm going to have a baked stuffed potato for dinner this evening. What I like about these things, well, I like them, they're delicious to eat, but once they are prepared, you can easily refrigerate it to warm it up again later, and they also freeze very well. You see them in the frozen food department of grocery stores and whatever. They keep quite nicely. I've baked this potato, and it's a large russet potato, the ones that they sell as bakers, extra large potato. All I'm doing is scooping out the hot baked potato into a potato ricer. Some of it, whoops, knocked over my pepper mill. Some fell down behind there. I'm using the coarse screen, or whatever you want to call it, in the ricer. It has a coarse one and a finer one. I don't want it to be complete mush, so I'm using a coarser one. And to that, I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of melted butter, or almost melted butter. I guess some of it wasn't quite melted there. And this is a blend of, it's, well, bought already grated. It says it's 4 different kinds of cheddar cheese, which is quite good. And a mixture of my own fresh herbs, the parsley from the light garden, some sage, and some rosemary that I've chopped. Mix that around a bit. Sometimes if it is too thick, I add a little cream or milk or something to soften it, but I don't think that's going to be necessary by the looks of this right now anyway. A little salt. Where is the peppermill that I knocked on its edge there? I like pepper, so there's quite a bit of ground pepper going in. Mix that in nicely. And it just goes back in the jacket that you took it out of. Doing these for a party or to take out somewhere or having guests, you can put it in a piping bag and pipe them back into the jackets, and that makes it a little fancier, but it's just for me and my dinner this evening, so I'm not concerned about it being fancy, I guess. Now I will put that in the oven and brown it, even though I'm not going to be eating it for several hours yet. And when it comes time for dinner, I can just microwave it for a minute or two to heat it up. So I'll come back and show you what it looks like after it's been browned. Well, thank you very much for watching. After about 10 minutes, I guess, in a 450-degree oven, the top is nice and brown and the cheese has melted. And now I'll just put it on a plate, and later on this evening when I have dinner, I'll microwave it for 2 or 3 minutes, and but just like it came fresh out of the oven. I really like these things. Well, thank you for watching. See you in my next video.